Kevin Young, after the game, spoke with Spencer. Here it is.
Coach, I was just told you enjoyed a nice cool bath in the locker room. What was it like to celebrate your first win?
Oh, that was cool. We got an unbelievable group of guys, top to bottom, and it was a nice cold shower they gave me. But fun to start out with a win, and just happy with the way our guys kind of rallied there after a slow start.
How do you feel your team performed in the second half, specifically coming out of the locker room after you had a chance to talk to them and calm them down a little bit?
Yeah, I thought good. Even in the probably the second part of the first half, I thought they kind of settled in. We had some good discussions in the timeouts, and that led us into halftime. I thought they took what we talked about in there, out on the court well. We'll see what it looks like on the film, but on first glance, it felt pretty good.
Schematically, and again, from that first glance, without having watched the film, what did you like best about the actual basketball tonight?
Yeah, I thought there was a lot of carryover over the stuff that we've been talking about a lot, in the last couple of weeks. We've been talking to them a lot about just our defense. I thought we had some busted assignments early, and then we kind of settled in and did a much better job there. And then on the offensive end, it's hard to get up 44 threes. It takes an effort of moving the ball, it takes an effort of driving it and kicking it to your teammate, and then following that up with 20 offensive rebounds. Those are things that we talk a lot about with our group, and so it's good to see that in the first game.
You've been very public about how this team shares the basketball. Yegor Demon, 11 assists tonight. Only had 2 turnovers, and both those came really late, but what did you think of his overall individual performance?
That was a pretty special performance in night one for him. It was as advertised. He's just unique, with that size. I thought tonight we saw, him being a little bit more aggressive, The other night in the exhibition, the defense was essentially turned him into a passer, and he did that just fine. And then tonight, there was chances where he had, scoring opportunities. He did that, but still had the assist as well. So he's just a real special player.
Obviously, he's a headliner. Who else stood out to you tonight on the floor as an individual performer?
I was happy with a lot of guys. I thought Richie's always steady. He just brings it every possession. I was really happy with what Mihailo brought off the bench. I thought he was a real steadying force out there and kind of calmed us down. There's a number of guys that performed well, but we'll look at it and just try to keep getting our combination of players out there, where we'd like it to be as we move through the season.
I know you're very in the details. So right now, defensively, where do you want to make an adjustment before game number 2?
I just thought we didn't execute necessarily the way we wanted to. We're still learning about who we like on as our point of attack defender on the ball. Who do we like on, bigger power forwards and things like that. So just trying to learn more about our group. And that's what's tough about just practicing against yourself constantly, right? You're not challenged as much with things that maybe are weaknesses of yours. And so every game, you can learn something from, and that's probably where we'll spend the most time.
Naturally, and you mentioned this to me at halftime, there are some nerves there, not just for the players, but for you. So when did you feel like you were able to settle into this game?
I don't know, kind of probably when the guys did, kind of 4 or 5 minutes into the game. For me, it's the uncertainty, right? It's new, which makes it very exciting. But that's part of it, it's just kind of get your blood pumping and all the feels, and so just glad we were able to get it done, and, hopefully we can build on it.
What'd you think of the crowd tonight at the Marriott Center for your first actual home game?
Man, I like when they're shooting free throws down on that end with the rock behind them. That's probably as wild as it gets, man. That's pretty impressive. But we've talked about it a lot, but just to experience it, finally for the first one, this place is really cool.
Coach, congratulations again on your first win. Hopefully you have time to dry off a little bit.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.